listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumpin' where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Can you kind of just talk to that defensive play you made there, Dave?
Big time on his part. I thought Jordan Hawkins got fouled. You know, they were trying to foul him, and for whatever reason they didn't call it. But big time play to track it down and go after it and make the free throws at the end.
One of the reasons y'all brought DeJounte here was to kind of help close out a game. I think he had 13 points maybe over the last 6 minutes. But what about his play down the stretch? So,
this is who he is, who he's been over the course of his last 5 to 7 seasons, and it's good to see him push through. Like he had the hand injury, he came back, knocking off rust, and he's tough, mentally tough. He's a leader, and it was great to see him put together a game like he did tonight, just to remind everybody of what he's capable of doing on the basketball floor.
Trey's put these games together where shots may not be fouled, but he's finding a way to get to the free throw line. He's finding a way to grab rebounds, have the game saved and block. Just what can you speak about how he's finding ways to impact the game just outside of putting the ball in the basket, which has been happening too? Yeah,
I think when you look at the box score, 10 rebounds, it jumps out to you right away. That means his activity is high. He understands that we haven't been doing a great job of finishing possessions defensively, but Trey is he's been amazing for us. His ability to shoot the ball, drive the ball, get to the free throw line. He made a huge play at the end where it was a drive kick. He might have had the shot, and then he swung it to Javonte for the wide open three. That was a big time play, and that's where he's continuously growing.
And speaking of Javonte, he had a big night for y'all, so just contributed in many different ways. Just what has he been able to bring? Even having to toggle him, as a starter, as a reserve, playing a bunch of different roles.
He's brought consistency every day. He comes in, he gets his work in. He'll have some games that we're shuffling him around, moving him in different spots. He never complains, and he's a true pro. Glad to have him a part of our group.
Well, can you pinpoint when you noticed DeJounte Murray now starting to basically find his confidence when that turnaround happened?
It's been gradual. It takes some time. First game of the season. Now he's out 6 to 8 weeks. New teammate, new environment, new community. So, it just took time for him to be able to get to this point where he feels comfortable, confident, and his teammates been doing a great job of rallying behind him.
And does probably nothing show his confidence more than when he shot that pull-up three? He started hopping on one leg even before the ball went in. Did you notice that?
That was fun. Truly a fun game to watch, and we're all extremely happy and proud of DeJounte, and those are the moments that he lives for.
Y'all really balanced tonight, in the scoring tonight. What do you think about that? How y'all have to spread it around? How about you guys not so shots?
Yeah, it's we've been working, and we're getting better and better. We're getting more confident in what we can do on the floor. we're having some consistency with guys, the same guys starting, playing off each other. So, some nights Trey has got it going. We're looking for Trey. Some nights it's CJ. He's got it going. We're looking for CJ. Tonight it was DeJounte, and we just kept getting the ball in his hands and letting him operate. But collectively, all of our guys have been doing a great job of just continuing to stay with it, buying in, even as we have faced some difficulties throughout the course of the season.
You guys last night in Chicago registered your best night in terms of rim and three rate, like in terms of the amount of shots you got in those areas. That's been an area I know early in the season we talked about. You guys were among the worst in the league at, and now over the last 15 games or so, 17 games or so, it's been steadily climbing upwards. Just what can you tell us about the work that you and your team have put in to improving the shot profile, and what may be contributing to that improvement there?
Yeah, it's a credit to all of our staff, our coaching staff, identifying where we can be better. And then the credit goes to our players. Early in the season, we were dealing with so many injuries, shuffling different lineups, and then trying to work on those concepts in practice. And we just stayed the course, stayed with it. And then as we're getting healthier, guys are understanding how offensively that impacts our team and how it creates quality shots for us. So it's a collective effort, and, extremely proud of our group for going out and executing, those concepts that we try to drip feed day in and day out.
Well, do you have an update on Jose Alvarado? It looks like he took himself out of the game after I guess he was hit on a hand or something.
He got an X-ray and so negative so far. So we'll have an update further. Thanks.
All right. Shout out to the fam, man. Big ups to y'all being in the building for this one, man. Pelicans, man, get another win, man. Pelicans 2 in a row. They were able to knock off the Mavs 119 to 116. They improved to 10-32 on the season, 6-16 at home. But listen, man, nonetheless, a win's a win. Pelicans got the win. You gotta stackpile as many of them as you can to get back into it. But they were on some hustle man stuff tonight. DeJounte Murray came out, had a very serious game, almost a triple-double game from him. We'll get into the stats. Trey Murphy handling his business, had a double-double night. CJ continues to struggle offensively, but CJ McCollum was helping out in other ways. And Javonte Green, man, is really helping out as well, as it coming into this thing. But anyway, shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being in this winning installment of the Pelican post-game report. We in this thing. Lexxah, getting right into it, straight up, shout out to you and the rest of the fam. Let's talk about it. Let's hit on a few pointers before we get into the stats provided or sponsored by tonight by DeJounte Murray. Almost triple-double this thing, man. Let's hear your early thoughts about the Pels. You muted too.
Appreciate that. Yeah, this game was weird.
Yeah,
It was really weird. Because the thing is, the script looked like it was kind of similar, to all the rest of the scripts. They had a rough third quarter. They didn't win the third quarter. But one thing I can commend the team of is, not quitting. Like, we don't really see a lot of situations where the Pelicans, they're coming back from being down. Like, we know that they can be up, they can keep a lead. But I think the biggest test for this team is being able to come back from being down double digits, whether it's double digits or single digits. Did you want to?
Yeah, hold on. You hold your thought. Let's hear from Mr. Murray, who's the player of the game tonight.
13 points over the last 6 minutes. But what was it like just kind of get yourself going like that in the fourth quarter?
Really just trying to stick with it. The beauty of being a part of a team that got the talent we have, you don't gotta do too much. It could be any guy's given night. I just know myself. I live for those moments, and whatever it is. If it's I got to sit down and guard, got to get a rebound, got to get a bucket, got to create for my teammates, have I think it just come down to winning basketball, and I think that's what we're trying to create here, on a daily basis. So, great team win.
You showed a lot of it, probably the most emotion you've shown since you've been here on the shot. You kind of stood on one leg and all that. But what was kind of the emotion like for you on that shot?
Man, just I'm trying to, get my fun, nothing with the team, just dealing with a lot. It's been tough for me. I'm a strong person, but at the same time, I'm human. And I think sometimes I could forget that, just the responsibilities I had since a kid all the way to now. I always try to be that strong, tough person, don't let my emotions out, but as I'm, getting older and maturing, those are great things to do. So, just sticking with it. And I think at that time, I just felt something. It felt good. It wasn't even about the shot going in. It was the moment, let out emotions. And like I said, it was a great team win.
Gotten back to taking the martinis, 10 attempts tonight. I think it was 11 or something the other night. And they've also been going in a good bit. Just, where you at your confidence level on that specifically?
It ain't a confidence low. I'm confident every single day because I know the work I put in. I trust the work I put in. I know how hard I work and the things I work on. That's one thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to come out here and do anything that I don't work on. So, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm just trying to get to, being myself, mentally having fun, mentally just blocking out everything, when I'm able to do what I love to do. And, basketball is more than a game for me. I love it. It's my piece. It's joy with it. And, at the end of the day, I'm going to continue just to push and push and, just do my part.
Talk about your defensive-minded player. The last few games, you guys brought a lot of physicality on that end.
Mm-hmm.
Just, has there been a catalyst to bring that level of physicality, or is it just a pride thing?
You hit it right there. It's a pride thing, man. Like me, I get mad if I'm guarding, and I know it's the NBA. You think smarter, but me as an individual, I get mad if I'm guarding and they come screen to get me off of whoever the guy is, and I'm a competitor. So I think that's what it comes down to, and it's a pride thing. So for me as an individual, I just go back to the moments where I was young, playing with all the older cats, and when you young, you're the youngest, and you're going against older and bigger guys. The only way you can get the ball is playing defense. So. In these type of moments, just in NBA in general, I always got that in the back of my mind, and just being a competitor, and at a team standpoint, it just come down to, pride and stay in front of your man, and guys make tough shots. It's the NBA. It's the best of the best. But at the end of the day, you guard your yard and you help your brother out.
Z's also talked about just like watching you set the tone on that end is made it impossible for him not to follow that lead. And, I think we saw it, especially against Boston when he was guarding Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in a denial coverage, just really being physical with him. Just also what's it like watching Zion being that strong against somebody else who's not going to get to this route? I
mean, it's great. Even before I got here, me and Z had multiple conversations, just about how active I'm always in the passing lanes and, just with my hands no matter what. And just me loving defense. So just obviously being on the same team as him now and seeing him, want to do it. Like I always say, I'm going to continue to say, the best ability is availability. And when he's available, he get to go showcase, how promising of a player he is. When you're not playing, you can't do that. And, he's working hard and he's doing everything he can to, get to that point. And for me, I just love it. Like I said, I'll smile and just seeing him competing. Because I just told him I want you to get everything out of this game. Don't leave nothing. Don't leave no food on the table. So from the offensive end, the defensive end, off the floor, whatever. Get everything you can get out of it. And it's just great to see him want to compete on that end.
Could you talk about Trey's game-saving block, keeping in mind that yesterday he had a big steal to help you guys get that win in Chicago too?
Exactly. And a lot of people said it was goaltending, but it was the principle of him going to get it, so whether it was goaltender or not, just him wanting to make a winning play to help the team win. That was the defensive stop. That wasn't trying to create for your teammate or hit a game-winning shot. It was on the defensive end. We had to sit down and guard and, it goes back to what I said, help your brother. And he helped his brother, and he got a block, and we got a great team win. So, like I tell him, that's part of your growth and development. Continue to just grow, on the offensive end, being vocal, and the defensive end, most importantly, because he have the size, the length, he's strong. So, it's great to see everybody just continue to grow.
Speaking of which, can you talk about Trey's development, what you've seen this year? Because last night he didn't have a shot going, for instance, got to the line 12 times. Tonight he had 10 rebounds. Can you talk about, because some people are even talking about he's a potential future all-star. What do you see?
The sky's the limit, man. Anybody that works hard, love the game, study the game, and they're just a sponge to listening, it's all about opportunity in the NBA. And he got his opportunity, and he's not playing with it. He's showing that he works on his game. He's showing that he's a confident guy, and he's also showing that, he's down for the challenge and the opportunity. So, I'm just on him to continue to work, continue to learn, never get big-headed, never get comfortable, because his lead is tough, and anything's possible, So I'm going to continue to push him and be on him. And, I know he don't need that, because that's somebody I see that's confident, and he's always in the gym. He's always in the weight room. He's always on the training table. So he's a true pro, so I'm just excited to watch the journey continue to, go up.
John, one more question about you. Sounds like things are still challenging for you sometimes, especially off the court. Well, how did you find that groove? For instance, I guess the last 4 or 5 games, you've really shown not only your swagger, your confidence, but it's translating in all your play on the court. Can you point to anything? I'm
going to try, man. At the end of the day, I'm going to continue to try to do. One thing I'm big is I want the fans to, at the end of the day, say that I work hard. I play hard. I want my organization to think the same way and feel the same way. You make or miss shots, but, the way I play the game, I feel like I play the game, all around on both ends of the floor. And, just continue to, like you said, get that swagger back and have that fun. I'm at my best when I'm smiling and just engaged and, out competing. I'm blessed. I'm thankful and grateful. Like, I'm in the NBA, and, I got to continue to put that into perspective. I'm in the NBA, and where I come from, that's not something that I ever thought of. So continue to just understanding, where I'm at and how blessed I am. And it could be worse. The sky's the limit. I'll figure it out.
Does it feel like you guys have won 5 games in
Man,
your last 8?
We taking it one at a time, man. One at a time. Now we got a great win. And get ready for Utah.
Thank you.
See y'all.
I got one more for you. Following up on that question about kind of finding your
Put him back down.
in the game again. I wanted to ask you, man, just being a leader on a team. A lot of these guys on this team look up to you. Coach was just talking about your leadership skills. How do you like you said, smile through that? Is it something like a fake it till you make it? Is it, how do you find that smiling as a leader to get the rest of the team?
What?
It ain't a fake it thing with me, because I stand on who I am. Any room I walk in, I'm not that guy that's going to bring that negative energy, whatever I'm going through, and bring it into the building. So, there's a time and place for everything. So when we on the road, we on the planes, we all rocking with each other, we in the locker rooms, we on the bus, whatever, team dinners, dudes is getting to know each other, smiling, and, we got group chats, everything, so, and then it makes it easier, when we, at work, and we able to get on the floor and get better and understand each other, so, like I said, when I just come in the building, I'm just being myself, man. I don't know how to be nobody else. I don't know how to fake it. Just being myself, and I'm thankful to be around such a great group of guys. Yeah, for sure.
All right, big ups to the fam, man. That's DeJounte, the player of the game tonight, man. Almost a triple-double from DeJounte Murray tonight, doing his thing, man. 30 points, man. He was doing his thing, man. But Trey and others, we'll get into that. Lex, complete your thought, please.
That last question was ridiculous. Why did he say fake it till you make it?
He's trying to figure out whether or not, if what he's going through, because he got a lot of stuff going on.
Okay,
Is it
so
some type of fakeness to it? I don't see fakeness in
I
DeJounte
can
Murray.
definitely tell, like, dog,
Maybe that's the question for David Griffin.
You've never played no sport, though. Like, the thing is that a lot of times when you playing a sport, that's your zen. That's where like you forget everything else. Like I know when I step on the court, I'm not thinking about anything outside. Like I could have been in my car like crying over about something or being upset about something. But boy, when I step on that court, it's a whole different ball game, man. I mean, it's like a whole new world.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I could tell, but when he asked that question, and a lot of players are like that. Like it's like, man, they go through stuff at home or just whatever it is. But when you get on that court, it's like you're not thinking about all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's your way. So I just thought that was kind of weird. Fake it till you make it. Like, dog, this ain't the music industry.
Gotta
You know
fake
what
it
I'm
till you
saying?
make it, baby.
You,
Gotta
you know what I'm
fake it.
saying? Like, it ain't that. It's that mentality and that zone that athletes go in when you're on either on the field or on the court. You know what I'm saying? It's just you don't think about that stuff. It's a way to escape all those things, even if it's for a moment. So I don't know. That was just kind of weird to me. But yeah, one thing I do want to say, like, Trey Murphy's doing his thing. But there's one thing that DeJounte said, and I actually said this on yesterday. Opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunity. It makes a heck of a difference when you actually have the opportunity to really showcase what you can do. And there's no one like around that can hurt that. You know what I'm saying? That's what Trey Murphy's been needing. He started off slow, obviously, but now we all see, like, man, Trey Murphy's game is expanding.
Yeah, he ready, man.
He's putting that ball on the
He ready.
floor. It's like, he's scoring like all different ways. I mean,
Yep.
right now he's definitely a 3-level scorer.
Yep.
I think definitely with the mid range, I mean, he can do more of that. But right now, just spacing with the floor, I mean, it's working out just fine with everything that he's doing. But it's just nice to see, like, you can tell that he's been working on expanding his bag.
Yeah, you
And
ain't lying, Lex.
yeah, I mean, opportunity.
Mhm.
Opportunity. That's what opportunity. This is what you do to open the door for someone who you say is part of your future. This is what you do. You have to. You're not going to know what you have unless you give that opportunity to a player like Trey. You gave him the contract, but I know this one thing. The way Trey's playing, Trey ain't going to the bench. You
No,
cannot bench him. You
no.
cannot bench him. That is forbidden. Okay? That's like a riot.
Do we have to say that though? Shouldn't that be commonsensical
Yes,
right
we
now?
do. Yes, we do. Because now it's gonna come. What's probably gonna come into play is it's probably gonna be like a political thing.
I
When
mean,
it shouldn't be like that. It's like, dude, if it's solely off basketball, you have to play this guy. You cannot, you can't bench him. You cannot do that.
I don't think the benching it should be a benching issue with Brandon Ingram. I know he's getting close to get ready to come back. At some point, they're gonna put him out there on the floor. But I mean, it has to be some type of situation where, and we know this is just not how Willie Green works or how the Pelicans rock. It's
Mhm.
the fact that the only person that really, and I've seen Brandon Ingram in small increment deal with some minute restriction, but really it's just that's the hard hand treatment for Zion Williamson, who was absent today. But all I could see, man, with Zion, whether him there or not, I love the energy that he brings. But Trey Murphy, man, is really with all of the stuff, with all of the guys that's in and out of the rotation, he's taking full advantage of his time. Like Lex, when he first came back off that injury, he played like 38, 39 minutes or something like that. There
Yeah, I
was no minute
know.
restrictions for him.
Exactly. And that's another story, but I'm confused about that. I
I
really
mean,
am.
it ain't nothing to be confused over, Lex. They super nervous about Zion Williamson. Hell,
But
he
the
been
thing
hurt. He
is,
missed half the games he been here. So I
the
mean,
thing is you have to play him. And I feel like their management of him,
yeah,
it's not right. You're basically holding Zion hostage. Like
'cause he
he's a
doesn't get
basketball
around.
player. He looks healthy. Like, and know how what confirms that he's healthy and that he's in shape? Do you all know that it's easy to be in shape offensively, but it is a whole
Defense.
nother ball game
Oh,
when
that's
you're in
extra effort
shape
there, baby.
defensively. That is a whole nother gear.
Yep, that's an
A
extra effort
whole
there.
nother gear. You have to be in shape for defense. Zion is in shape for defense. The dude is in shape. That's confirmation right there.
And no sluggish energy from him, man,
Yeah.
over these
And
last couple of games
he's intentionally putting a lot of emphasis on
on
the
that side
defense.
of it. Oh yeah,
And let me tell you something, cause like, and this is nothing against Herb, but it seems like Herb is really going through this year, whether it's with his, with injury. I think it's to me, it's kind of affected him mentally. I feel like Willie in a negative way has affected him mentally because he wasn't even talking right. But when you think about Herb Jones and his defensive prowess, Herb is not out there. And I'm looking at what Zion's doing. I don't think I've ever seen Herb get like 3 steals. You know what I'm saying? Like in a row.
it's a
Or
different level.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's different.
It's
Totally different.
it's like a super
Mhm,
like going like Super Mario. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying?
Way
Like
different.
defense.
Right.
It's a totally different type of defense.
Mhm.
And that's the thing when Zion is dialed in defensively, man, this team looks totally different. The whole complexity and everything changes with this team, and it's contagious. It's infectious. Everybody's getting some. It's
Yeah,
like everybody feels that stuff.
yeah, the confidence too to take
Yeah,
shots, like the mid-range shots you're seeing them and all this kind of stuff you're seeing them do, and more confidence in playing off players, making passes to guys hitting shots. All of that's flowing. So I mean, if one thing, he will collapse defenses and give and make games easier for guys around him. Trey Murphy's game, not just to stand,
yeah,
stand on the wing or stand in the corner or whatever the case may be. He's becoming more than just the shooting. I mean, the guy is developing. He's playing defense. You see him challenge
yeah,
that layup there, pinned it on the board there. I mean, he's that we talked about it last night. That understanding the angles
yeah,
of what's going on the floor. He's ready. I
yeah.
mean, even his
Knowing how to
temperament.
move too. Yeah,
Yeah,
his
right.
demeanor, his demeanor.
Everything has
He's
changed.
not.
He
He's
got
not
that
really.
money, Lex. He got
He's
that
not
paper. It all
smiling out
changed.
there, man.
No,
He's
he
not
ain't.
smiling out there. I mean,
No,
he looks like he has look, I have
he got
something to
something to
prove.
prove.
I am a starter in this league. And he said it earlier. I can go on any team in the NBA. I don't know if anybody remembers when he said that. He can go to any team in the NBA and be a starter. Man,
He
he said
can.
that with his chest.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
And he's showing it. He's showing it with his game. Like he literally can. He has, and trust me, like the way that he spaces the floor and he's shooting those 30 footers and 40 footers, man. I mean, it's like, and you consider the dude is like 6'9",
I think he like 6'10". I want to
6'10".
say Trey
Okay.
6'10". Yeah.
Yeah. Is that with shoes on?
Uh,
but
I think
but
so.
you're shooting that distance at that height, that's very attractive to anybody.
I mean, it makes the game
That's
easier,
very
though, doesn't
attractive.
it?
Yeah,
It
it
makes it
does
easier.
because it spaces the floor. You have to choose your
Speaking of
poison.
Trey,
There
you done summoned them, Lex. Here you
Look.
go.
Ooh, there it is.
Kind of oh, I mean, block shot at the end of the game.
I was just trying to make a play on the ball. That was it. It's one of those moments where you either win a game, lose a game, and I was just trying to do everything in my power to try to win the game.
So where are you right now? It seems like you just really every game you seem to just getting more and more confident, just doing different things. Where are you? I mean, where do you feel like you are right now?
I'm in a good place. I feel like we're really flowing as a team, and we're figuring each other out. And I think I'm just trying to be aggressive, just pick my spots and be aggressive at times.
There's been a pretty big uptick in your free throw rate last, I don't know how many games, but it's a steady incline. What's gone into your focus on getting to the line? And I guess what have you been working on that's enabled that?
I mean, it's a skill, and it's something I was working on this summer. And it was tough though because it's a balance of drawing fouls and then also to there's times where it's like 50-50, and you'll have plays where it looks bad because there's been a few plays even today where I shot some bad layups that probably could have been a foul, and when it's not a foul, it looks bad. But I think the biggest thing is just rhythm. It helps get my rhythm going, and I'm shooting at a high clip, so just trying to get to the free throw line more.
You got to the line after you crossed up Najee.
I'm mad I missed it, to be honest. That's what I really wanted. So it was cool to shoot the 2 free throws on it, but I really wanted to get that bucket. So
Game's over. You can't change the result, but it was a goaltend on replay. Just has anybody, I guess, talked to you about that, or has Najee even talked to you about that, or anything like that?
I think they caught a block on the floor. So I'm gonna just go with that, and that's can't take away the win. So.
Can you talk about playing against Najee for the first time? What was that?
Facts.
Second time. This one's second time, but this is the first time we actually really got to play against each other a lot and it was fun, man. Love that dude. Love the dude to death. Our rookie year, we both went through some real tough times, not playing, going to the G League together. We were really close because we had the same PD coach and we'd always be together. And so now even before the game, I was just telling him, I was like, yeah, we've come a really long way. Rookie year, we weren't even on the court, and now we out here starting playing major minutes. So it's just a testament to our hard work and just where we've gone.
What was it like watching DeJounte kind of take over for you guys offensively down the stretch of that fourth quarter?
That's what he's capable of. I mean, he's calm with the pill, and just let him do his thing and be ready to space to shoot the ball.
Can you talk about Javante's game he had tonight? He goes from boxing out Gafford to coming up with steals to hitting 2 big threes in that fourth.
That's him. He's Swiss Army knife. You do whatever the team needs to win, and he has some big shots down the stretch, and we definitely needed him.
Where would you say your chemistry with DeJounte is now? Definitely seemed like down the stretch you guys were playing off of each other a good bit, involved in the same action, just kind of both players making the read on depending on what the other guys doing.
Yeah, it's really just takes time. I mean, it's the first time we played together, and it's the first year we played together, and it takes a lot of time. Our first time really getting to play was, I think, Madison Square Garden in December. So it's going to take time, and I'm just excited to see what the future holds.
I've already talked to Najee and Jose about you guys. You talk every day and things like that. You already talked about playing against Najee and the things you've talked about, but just talk about him as a person. And like Jose said, there's only one Najee. So just can you elaborate on it?
Yeah, I would say he's one of a kind, and Najee's one of the most down to earth people ever, and one of the most solid people. I would go to war for him, and I would also say he's probably top 3 in the funniest people ever that I know. Bottom ever. He's one of the top 3 funniest people I know. And, I miss him a lot, but I'm just so happy for him that he's able to get another opportunity over there in Dallas and, got a new contract, all that stuff. And, just happy for the dude because he's such a solid individual.
Hey, Trey, when you're playing against somebody like Clay, I'm sure he's somebody you probably watched a lot growing up. What's it just kind of like for you when you go up against a guy like that? Does it kind of motivate you even more?
I think it's different now. I think it's a little different now because I've had a few, meetings with Clay when he was in Golden State. During those times, though, it's really cool because, being a shooter, Clay was one of those, bigger wings that everybody looked at shooting the ball. And so it's really cool matching up against him. And but now right now, I don't really look at it like that. It's just, all right, this is another person that we got to figure out who to beat.
Is your free throw streak, is it like a no-hitter we can't talk about or we can't talk about?
I don't care. It don't matter to me. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Goddamn right.
Okay.
Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man. That was Trey there. Talking that good game, man. Klay Thompson struggled against the Pels tonight. He had 12 points. He was 2 of 9 from downtown. If he was halfway on, this would have went a different way. But the Pelicans took advantage of a team that played late yesterday, missing 2 of their top people. The third guy that's paid a lot of money only put 12 points in with everybody else. Pelicans took advantage. Got a win. Second win. Let's hit the stats, Lex. We're going to bounce back to you. We're going to see if they got anybody else left to kind of go and talk on it. I think they're about to shut it down now. All right. Anyway, hold on. Where am I? Wrong stat table. Here we go. Tonight's PPR stats is brought to you by DeJounte Murray. He was the one cooking for the Pels tonight, along with Trey. But the Pels tonight, man, in the first of 4 at home, shot 44% from the field, 43 of 97. The Mavs, 43 of 90 for 48%. Pelicans were 13 of 39 from downtown for 33.3%. Mavs 12 of 35 for 34.3. The Pelicans 20 of 24 from the foul line. They hit 83% from the foul line, which is definitely needed. Them beating them by 3. That helps, man. I'm telling you. 18 to 25 by the Mavs for 72%. Pelicans almost 50 rebounds tonight. 15 offensive assist game was Mavs 27-24. Pelicans did win the steal game 11-9. And the blocks 8-3. Turnovers, Pelicans kept it to 10 with 13 points off turnovers versus the Mavs 17 turnovers, 24 points given up. Fast break points advantage Pelicans 23-17. Points in the paint battle was the Mavs 60-46 to kind of keep that thing close. All right, and then switching over to the individual statistics, like we said, DeJounte Murray, 33 minutes. He put up 30 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. It was +9 on 10 of 22 from the field, 4 of 10 from downtown, 6 of 8 from the foul line. 24 points for Trey in 38 minutes on 7 of 18 shooting from the field. He was 2 of 6 from downtown and perfect from the charity stripe, 8 for 8. So he had 24 points to go along with 10 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. Plus 13 for that guy. And of course, we see the 13 points thrown in by Javonte Green in 37 minutes. He was 4 of 7 from the field for 35, 3 of 5 from downtown, three pointers by Javonte Green shooting it. Big woo. They call him 13.7 boards from him, plus 8. Yves in 29 minutes, he was 5 of 7 from the field, finish +9, 12.6 boards, 2 blocks, and a steal by him. CJ McCollum, offensively, wasn't there. He chunked in 11 points, but he had a +10. He was out there working all around for CJ. 34 minutes, 4 of 14 from the field. He struggled from downtown, 1 of 7, but was out trying to give an effort. And then, of course, you go to the bench, 12 from Jordan Hawkins in 21 minutes. He had 2 3-pointers tonight, 9 from Brandon Boston in 15 minutes. He was 1 or 2 from downtown as well. Jose Alvarado did leave the game, but he contributed 2 points, 5 assists, and a steal in 15 minutes. Daniel Tice in 19 minutes had 2 points and 5 boards, a steal, assist, and a block, and 4 from Jeremiah Robinson Earl in limited action. He had 4 points and 7 boards in 9 minutes for JRE. In the end, Pels did what they had to do to get a win, a second win in a row for the Pelicans. They improved to 10-32. They're 6-16 at home. This is the first of 3 games. They got 2 of the next games will be against the same team, the Utah Jazz. So Pelicans for the first time this season, because Zion will be back for that Utah matchup on Friday. Pelicans for the first time this year could possibly win 3 games in a row. We play it right, it might be 4 games in a row because I don't think the Utah games are not back to back. So you might get Zion for a couple of games right
I'm
here.
trying
So
to hear no more missing back to backs.
I mean, he out there flowing around. So
I
we'll
know.
see.
I'm just looking at the whole package, and he don't need to miss no more games. Can you go back to the overall stats though?
Sure. Hold on, Lex. Let me pull him back up there. Hold on just a second here. All right, team stats. There we go.
All
right.
I appreciate that. No, definitely do well on the free throw line and won the rebound battle. Yeah, they won the rebounds.
They've been doing good, man. This
Yeah.
game right here, they were very scrappy in this game, man. And like I
Yeah.
said, some of the like this win kind of, like we said, Dallas yesterday. Remember, Dallas was playing late, and it
Mhm.
was a tough one. We know Luka wasn't going to play. Kyrie Irving was also he didn't play in the matchup, so that's options 1 and 2 for them. And Klay Thompson struggled in his game, so the Pelicans took advantage of a Dallas team that had a little struggling going on themselves, and they have an opportunity to put 2 away. And now with Utah coming in, they have an opportunity to keep this thing going. So Lex, let's move forward, span ahead, because the matchup indicator for the game against the Utah Jazz have the Pelicans as the matchup indicator ain't shit. They've been pretty accurate in many of these games as far as the Pelicans are concerned, but they got a team that they facing off in Utah, 10-29, at 7-14 on the road. The Pelicans, like I said, are 10-32, 6-16 at home. And we got quite a few people, according to this, could be out. Estimated, well, the return date's supposed to be on the 17th for many of these players, which will be just in time for the game against the Pelicans. So that's Saxton, Collins, Laurie Marketing. All these guys are predicted to be back for that Friday matchup. Jordan Clarkson is said to be going to be out a lot longer than that. So we definitely get Zion back. This will be the first of, I think it's 3 games against the Utah Jazz, the first of 3. The Pelicans could really kind of turn things around insofar as like getting a win streak going, like more than 3 games for the first time this season is really crazy. But that's how tough of a season we've been undergoing right here, man. So next 3 games at home: Utah Friday, Utah Monday, and Milwaukee Wednesday.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about Utah. You think the Pelicans? I think the Pelicans get the Utah win with Zion coming back, refreshed again. I have to give
I
it to the
mean,
Pelicans on this one. What you say?
yeah, I mean, when you say Zion being fresh and things, I mean, either or, because it's about reps. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that his legs are under him, and just getting those reps. And you can't get reps by sitting down. So it's kind of, I know he's going to be fresh, but those reps are just so important. But I do believe that they can get the win. Right now, and you saw it a little bit on tonight. Looking at the Pelicans, the way that they played tonight, when they started off in that first quarter, the ball was moving. There was ball movement, there was player movement. And then, obviously they started to get stagnant. But looking at this game, it was kind of weird because it seemed like at a lot of parts during the game, they were going through the motions, a lot like how teams go through the motions with the Pelicans. And this is one thing the Pelicans have to be careful about, because the Mavs are shorthanded. They're shorthanded. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And there guys, a lot of guys, just like how the Pelicans were early on, were playing out of position. They were doing more than, what, they would typically do if, the starters are starting and all that stuff and guys are available. But the thing is that you have to be careful of is when these teams are undermanned, and apparently Utah, they're undermanned as well. Some of their guys are out. So I kind of feel like, look, the Pelicans went through a bulk of missing guys first half of the season. And I think in the second half, we're going to see teams where, they'll have guys like, quite a few guys out of the lineup. It's almost like it's reciprocated. Guys, early on, they had all their people available. But, at some point in time, because it's salt and peppered in, teams do have guys in and out the lineups at certain periods within the season. But I think with the Pelicans, I don't think it's ever been that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was like an all-time high. But I say that because the Pelicans have to be careful that you are not playing down to the competition. Remember, if you need a reminder, y'all need to look at the record. The record is still bad. Okay? No, for real. And so the thing is to keep them honest so they can be honest with themselves. Hey man, if a team is undermanned, they need to come out and bust their butt. Because wasn't nobody trying to feel for the Pelicans being undermanned, right?
Exactly.
Like
They're trying to get a W.
took advantage of that to be like, hey man, this is in the bag. This is a
Right.
guaranteed W. We don't even have to play to the fullest. But for the Pelicans, I don't even want them to have that mentality. You all need to come out like with the chip on your shoulder, similar to what Trey is playing with, because right now Trey is showing, hey, I'm a starter in this league. You need to start me. And I don't care who gets back. You still need to start me, period. That's what this team needs to say to these other teams, as far as don't go into these games thinking that you can just turn off that switch when you want to, or you can turn on that switch. You can't be like that. Because I kind of feel like when I was looking at the game, I'm like, I kind of feel like, man, they started doing too much. I don't know if you saw in the second quarter, DeJounte, he tried to throw a fancy pass, and this was back to back. McCollum, he came down the very next play and he got up in the air, which is a cardinal sin. You never leave your feet in the air, and he passed the ball. It was a weak pass, and those were two transition baskets for the Mavs. Stuff like that, because turnovers started to pick up. No, it started getting sloppy. Y'all got to stay disciplined. If you need a reminder, look at that record. You haven't done anything yet. It's one game at a time, but at the same time, it's like, y'all got to come with it. Because you're talking about there's if you're trying to give yourself a chance at anything, and I'm not saying that it's guaranteed, because it's tough right now. You're last in the West. Now that can change with Utah. You can jump to second to last in the West. You know what I'm saying? But still, you got to go in with the mentality like, look, we need to take advantage of the situation. We don't need to go through the motions. We don't need to play down to the competition. We need to play way above the competition to get these wins. Because frankly, I would love for them to put together a winning streak. Now, for, really to get to 4 games, that'll be really good. But the challenging thing would be getting to 5. because the Pelicans have never won 5 games in a row for a long time.
Well,
It's always stopped at 4. You know what I'm saying?
well, they have a chance. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
they
not
do.
a far-going conclusion that they got some. I mean, like I said, with Zion coming back, I mean, this could be something good for. I mean, this is what I see from the Pelicans, right?
Mm.
Like the players, you can see that there's chemistry there. You can see how I just showed the play where the ball was moving. You seen the pass to Jonte, and you seen CJ then pass the ball to Javante Green, who then passed the
Mhm.
ball to Yves, and Yves went into like a kind of a layup off the board to convert the basket. So they're moving the ball. You can see Trey out there playing defense, dunking, alley oops, guys running, understanding and figuring out who's going to be where and how. You can see that after all this long time, you can see they're starting to figure out each other's
Figuring it
sequences.
out.
Right. You can see the harmony developing, and you can see them having fun together. You can really see that happening. So yeah, I think they can put the streak together. Now the 5th game,
Mhm.
they got 2 in a row, 2 against Utah, and then the last of the home games is against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Now that's Zion should be there. I don't know what's going on with Herb. I think
Herb's out indefinitely.
so. I don't know what kind of update. I don't know what's going on. What he said that there was some X-rays that they did for Jose Alvarado that turned out negative. So we should have more of another update prior to probably tomorrow, if not before the matchup against Utah on Friday. So in the end, all I can say is we see a lot of bright spots here. And they talked about one of the reporters asked a question to DeJounte Murray tonight. He said, man, it's one win at a time. It's one game at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
But
the approach. And that's
they
how
need to
that's
have one
well,
win at a time.
well, that's how you have to have it. If you're a team in the whole, that's all you can do is focus on one game at a time to get out of it. So
But they gonna have to every game because the thing is, I'm pretty sure a lot of teams would look at the Pelicans record like, oh, we'll get this team. Because it happens a lot. We know that teams do it. They play down to competition, and a lot of times that gets a lot of teams. But I just want to make sure the Pelicans are not doing that. Because like just like with the Mavs, just like with Utah, guys are out.
you know what though, Lex? I mean, you're right, and that definitely bears some more investigation. To be honest with you, because you look at what happened with CJ McCollum when he was hot offensively. He's offensively speaking now, he done cooled off greatly. He in a bit of a scoring slump, to be honest with you. He had like 8 points tonight, I want to say. He shot the ball. His shooting today was really off, but he was playing some defense, attempting to play some defense. He was involved. His plus minus was up.
Yeah, he is
So I mean,
trying, but
he is playing. Well, Zion gave him a shout out the other night.
Because he said
about
a lot
that.
of people wouldn't agree, and I didn't agree
Right.
with him. But I understood what he was saying. He's making an effort, but he did throw Vukovic down. And I'm like,
Yeah, he did.
dog, you're not going for the ball. You were not positioned very great. I really don't like when CJ does that type stuff.
Well,
Because
he know what he can get away with, Lex. I mean, that's
I
how
understand what he's
he
trying
rules.
to do because he's been beaten. And so he does those things because he knows he's beaten and he can't recover. But it's
Right.
like, dude, sometimes just letting it go, because they ended up getting and1s and stuff. I'm just not feeling that. And sometimes he's not even going for the ball. Henceforth, obviously he got a flagrant foul on that. But they were still switching. I don't know if you noticed.
Mhm.
Like, he's still a liability. I understand he's trying, and that's great. And he will succeed sometimes, but they're still switching. They're purposely doing that. And you saw that. Dinwiddie, he's like, come here. Whoever be like, I want that dude on me right there. You know what I'm saying? Because they know. They know. I mean, all these teams, I mean, we saw OKC do it. Everybody was doing it. They're hunting that mismatch. And on defense, it's always going to be CJ. Like, everybody knows that. So if everybody's doing it, there must be a reason. But I can, I understand he's trying, but it's going to take a little bit longer for me to really start, you know what I'm saying, recognizing you on that end of the floor. Because the thing is, teams are like, dog, yeah, he's trying, but I still want him switch.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right. He definitely has that issue. And the crazy part about it is the Pelicans are, they're handling their business offensively without him putting in those big numbers. And like I said, I think eventually we'll see what this trade, what they're working on here with David Griffin them and whatever they're doing with BI and all this. If anything involves CJ McCollum or anybody else for that matter. Well, that's definitely a part of it. But what we're seeing with what they have now, with some of these guys, man, that Javonte Green is woken up. His three ball is falling. His defense has went up a
Yeah.
level. I mean, he's running the floor, playing defense, guard multiple positions. His energy and efforts out there, but it's people that you can see, like with Zion Williamson's out there, their game is on another level. And even with him missing tonight, a lot of that energy carried over. Like
Yeah.
you see, DeJounte Murray probably had his best game as a Pelican yet. So I mean, the guy
And
scored 30 points.
that's a huge spark.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Thing is, and again, when you're, I mean, someone of Zion's, talent and his caliber, when you see a guy like that dedicating, on the defensive end, really, just making plays and performing at a high level, it makes a difference. That's an energy. And that energy is transferring. I know we talk about Jose, and it's not taken away from Jose because Jose does add that energy. But there's really something when you have that superstar caliber player who is really doing those, getting deflections, and somewhat your teammate getting the steal. All that stuff that he's doing, it helps. And that's one thing that the Pelicans have struggled with, was their energy, their effort.
Man.
How many times do we look at past games, and this is just this season, where they did not look like they were engaged? They weren't acclimated in the game. They looked lethargic. Like, that was like really irritating to me. Like, dog, are y'all ready to play? Did y'all do warm-ups? You know what I'm saying? Like, they really like came out like that. So now you're starting to see a collection of games, like back to back, and they still have some hiccups, like moments in the games, but they're not as long. They're not dragging out. I mean, obviously, third quarters are still an issue. They haven't fixed everything. So, but one thing I can say is that their energy, they seem more engaged, and that effort is there. And that's got to be the foundation. When you've been down so many guys, you got to come out with that energy. You got to come out and work hard. All of y'all know how to play basketball. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be a professional basketball player. So you have to come out and work hard. Y'all got to run the floor, get scrappy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that you can't measure, is your energy and your effort and your heart and will when you're out on that floor. You can't measure that. That does not show up on the stat sheet. But when you look up, it's like, wow, how did we win? You know what? We outplayed the other team. We wanted it more. And then when you start seeing those things, you're starting to make good passes. You're putting your body on the line to get, like Trey did, making a play on the ball to help the team win. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it was a goal 10. You know what I'm saying? It hit the backboard. It hit the backboard. But you know what? How
Trey
many
said
times?
he called it on the floor. You
Yeah,
heard
I
what they
know.
called
They
it.
didn't call it. They didn't call it. And that has nothing to do with the Pelicans. I don't know how many times the Pelicans were on the other end of that. Because the Pelicans have been on the other end of those type situations a lot.
Well,
So
that's
for them to come out with
with
that win, okay. What you getting at?
go ahead, finished. Go ahead,
Yeah,
finish.
for them to come out with the win in that type of situation, you know what? Hey, you'll take it. We'll take it. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? Because there's been many times where a call was not made and it was clearly a foul and it wasn't called, and it's like the Pelicans ended up losing. So it's like, hey man,
but
shoot.
the refs get caught up into the flow of the game just like any team do. So I
Yeah,
mean, the Pelicans had the energy flowing, they had the effort going, and things fall for you. That's how it go. When they were
yeah.
out there hustling,
Winning
shooting,
50-50 balls.
there you go. So I mean, that went in their favor as opposed to it. So that could be a bit of a minuscule sea change of things because that was a good point right there. Like several really good points by you. That one right there really kind of hammered it in is the fact that they wouldn't have got that call would have went against them several games ago. They would have got hit with a goaltending on that sucker. So I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm
these
glad they
things
blew out that whistle
right. So I mean,
because it was only 1.8 seconds on the clock.
you made some you're saying a lot of terrific things, and you're right. A lot of the stuff that we've seen with the Pelicans over the last several games, we've seen the effort and the energy severely increase. Even in the Boston loss, the Pelicans were there the whole time
Yeah.
and really let
Austin felt
Boston
them too.
right. They let
And
Boston off the hook because the Pelicans could have hit some free throws in there that could have helped themselves out. They could have had some of them things happen, like with Tatum missing those free throws
they
at the
had
back end. The
opportunities.
5 second call that was on the sideline they gave 'em.
Mhm.
So yeah, they were in there, and so you build on that, beating Chi-Town, beating a disadvantaged Dallas team, having 2 matchups against a underperforming Utah team. And Milwaukee is not exactly a juggernaut either. They're playing a lot better, but still in
Yeah.
all, with
Yeah.
Zion and the way Trey playing and Zion playing, and how these
Yeah.
guys, the help from
It
Javante
really
Green and Brandon Boston,
the activity
Murray,
defensively makes a huge difference.
right? And CJ McCollum eventually is going to come up out of that offensive slump and start hitting those shots.
I
That's only
just
going to
doesn't
make it.
start
That's
dancing so much
well, I don't think he's going to dance so much
because
because
the
of the
thing
flow.
is, he's got to play that true too. You know what I'm saying? Because now that you have that ball movement, it's like, dude, if the space is already there, you don't have to work hard. And I know CJ loves to dance. He loves it. He does. But it's like, dude, coming off that screen. And we saw a little bit of it last season. Coming off those screens, like, and going straight up. And especially if someone's coming to close out on him and they foul him. He's good at, doing that stuff. Like, that's perfect. And the thing is, the shot clock, the ball movement still maintains because even on tonight, there were moments where the ball stopped moving. That's how the Mavs got back in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
They became stagnant. There was too much. It was like, dude, what are you doing with the ball? What are you doing? You got to get rid of it. That's where that 0.5 comes from. If you don't have anything, stop trying to make something that's not there and move the ball. Get guys get the defense moving and rotating. Once that happens, it's almost like once you get something moving, it's hard to get it to stop. You know what I'm saying? So get that ball movement and hit that person who's wide open. And you're gonna knock down shots 9 times out of 10 because they're gonna feel like practice shots. And that's the whole goal, is to make the game easy. Man, so many times, like watching the Pelicans, You hate to see them work so hard to get a shot. Antonio Daniels, he talks about that.
Mm-hmm.
Look how hard it is. Look at what the Pelicans are looking at. The game should not be hard. It should not be hard. Against Chicago, I talked about how, Zion was pinning his man down low and nobody was throwing the ball down there. That's an easy layup to a guy who's so efficient down there.
But Tice found him.
Yeah, Tice did. And
Threw it
he's
right
not
over
even
the top of
guard.
it. Nope, he knew it though.
Took the big man to finally get it down there. There was like 7 to 10 opportunities or something like that where they could have got the ball down there, but they didn't. Because there's a small window that you have. Those are the opportunities that we have to take advantage of. It's okay to get easy shots. I think sometimes, I understand that there's tough shots, but every shot should not be tough.
No,
every shot is not tough for Steph Curry. Every shot is not tough for Kyrie or Luka. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be hard to. It's okay to get layups. I like layups.
Man, it shouldn't be.
Layups are the highest.
Either.
Layups are the highest percentage shot on the floor.
It shouldn't be for the Pelicans either if Zion's there. I mean,
Exactly.
Zion, him collapsing
Because
the defense, everybody eats.
He's a juggernaut in the paint.
Right. Exactly.
So you have that threat and you have shooters. And when you establish that inside, that opens up so much, especially when Zion's down there. Everyone's gravitating to him. And everybody's able to get their shot off. But when he's not playing, just like we saw on tonight, that ball movement and player movement is huge. That's how it's hard to guard ball movement and player movement. It's hard to guard it because everything is constantly moving. The defense cannot get set. And when the defense that's why you have to be careful about that one-on-one stuff. Henceforth, when CJ starts dancing, because it's like, CJ, you are allowing the defense to get set. And a lot of times guys are going to stay home. They'll take their chances. Okay, look, just stay in front of them. CJ is not at that caliber where, like someone like Kyrie or Steph or, Doncic or Anthony Edwards. He can hold his own and he does get those shots off. But at the same time, their defenses are willing to live with that.
I mean, something going on here, Lex, with the Pelicans, because if you look at the last 8 games with the New Orleans Pelicans, they're 5-3 over the last 8 games. 6 of those games, the top assist man was DeJounte Murray, the field general. 1 game out of all the last 8 games was the blowout, which was the Portland game in which they lost by 19. But the loss to the Celtics was a game they were supposed to win. The loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves was a game they were supposed to win. So you can see something is happening right here.
Yeah, there's so many games that they could have won even early on.
Right, but particularly over this stretch of games is what I'm saying, what is tied to the energy that they're playing under currently. So if you have Zion Williamson healthy, you have Trey Murphy, who's obviously reached another level of understanding in this game. I mean, this guy, people are talking about this guy. They're having superstar talk, impending star talk of Trey Murphy right now, how well he's playing. He's averaging over 21 points over the last several games. So, I mean, he's reached another level. And then like these role players are stepping up, they're handling their business. So you can see everybody working in synergy and harmony. And all it is a matter of guys just staying healthy as a collective. If that is indeed the case, they could be able to put together. I'm looking at the schedule. At least I can say the 2 games that spread apart, the Friday and the Monday game. Hell, the Pelicans won't see a back-to-back. With Zion, they won't see that until Friday after next when they go against Memphis. They go back on the road for January the 24th at Memphis, and then January the 25th at Charlotte. So they won't have a back-to-back until Friday after next. So over the next 3 games, I mean, they could very well start building this thing and trying to get themselves back into whatever. People they saying, hey, we behind. If they're playing like this and having this type of effort, man, shit. How Trey's play. Trey is like, I don't want to say it just yet, but I see it, man. Like how Zion is. This is who we visualize Trey being next to Zion.
Yeah.
He's not just complimenting Zion. You seen tonight Trey
And
playing
they
defense. He
already have
finishing
the
strong
synergy.
at the cup. He's dunking on people, doing some Dominique Wilkins. She catching with 2 hands and cram it with 1, shooting the 3-pointer. He's a menace. And it's just, and then DeJounte Murray slowly working his way back to being what we know he was going to be when he got here.
Like, shoot. When
So I
Zion
mean,
got inserted into the lineup, that almost like
man,
activated DeJounte. Like this
several
is,
players,
you
Lexxah.
know what I'm saying? But DeJounte, he had been struggling with his, shot and things. But it seems like, just Zion's made it easy for him. And that's what it's about. Sometimes that's needed. And that chemistry's been there. And one thing I really like, because DeJounte's been attempting that 3 at a high clip, like more so than usual. Like I think in the Chicago game, wasn't all his shots behind the arc?
I don't remember. I
Like
can look it
most
up.
of them. Like he's really and then not only that, he's ready to shoot. I think that's the biggest thing is like, man, as soon as
He was 4 of 11
Zion,
from downtown in that game.
oh, okay. But he's shooting them with confidence,
Yeah, it's
so
all confidence driven with him.
he's throwing those dimes to him, and it's like, hey man, you have space. The defense can't close out on you enough because they're playing too hard on weak side. And again, that's due to that gravity that he has.
Right.
So it's, I mean, and he's finding everybody. I mean, Jose caught on fire. Obviously,
Jose
Trey
hitting his threes.
I know
Right.
that was beautiful, man.
That's what I'm
And
saying,
everybody
Lex. All
knocking down shots.
everybody is caught up in the energy of what's going on. Like when Zion got there, Jose's shot, the 3-point shot. He had like 4 3-pointers the other night. You have Javonte Green knocking down 3-pointers confidently.
And
I
look,
mean, there was no hesitation in none of this. These
there
guys are
wasn't.
stepping into it confidently, knocking shots down, anticipating plays, playing in the passing lane, being handsy. Everybody's defense is going up, even CJ McCollum. So I mean, it's something going on here, man, with the Pelicans where they starting to believe. They're starting to figure some stuff out. And you can see, like I said, out of the last 8 games, only one blowout over the last 8 games, and that was the loss to Portland. But outside of that, they've been competitively in all of this game. So that's what it is. Can you hear me? Am I still live? Y'all hear me?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
can hear you.
All right. So listen, last thoughts, Lex, and then we're gonna dirk on out with that. Yeah, Pelicans, man, they working on something special here, man. Could they put 4 games, a 4-game winning streak together, and then they have Giannis coming in here to finish off the last game of the homestand, the 4-game stand. It's the first of it. We got 3 more left: 2 against Utah, 1 against Milwaukee. Can the Pelicans be on a 5-game winning streak right quick to kind of flip some stuff around here, man? That could change the game here with 5-game winning streak, Lex. Well, shit, another 3 games puts the Pelicans at 13-32. I mean, anything possible when you got Zion and these people playing like this, man. Anything is possible. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. You got the last thoughts.
Now I want y'all to pump the brakes a little bit, like Strider, KGN, as far as building around Trey Murphy. One thing I want to say is that they're starting to zoom in on Trey Murphy, especially in the second halves. They're paying attention more. And so you're going to start seeing the scouting report change with him. As far as with that, like right now, I don't think we're there yet. Because the thing is that that's a lot of attention. a lot of attention when you're talking about, building around him, because right now he doesn't have to deal with that constant attention. Once that constant attention, like it's the whole game, it's not just in the second half, that changes things. That's a whole different ball game. So I don't think it's there just quite yet as far as with that. I'm not saying that it can't, but as far as right now, I wouldn't say like build around. He's a key piece though. He's definitely a key piece because I think what's going to be the telltale is how Trey Murphy, if you're not having like someone like Zion out there, okay, and you're putting him in a position where he's double teamed, he's triple teamed. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of changes things. Like, so and he's not getting doubled or triple teamed just yet. So that's something that we would have to wait to see, because that right there, when you look at let KD tell it. One time he said, like, man, I got 5 guys guarding me. That's what he said. Like,
That's a
and
whole
he's
nother level.
yeah, that is exactly. So when you're talking about, building around
Talking about
Trey,
option one.
yeah, he's the number
Everything
one
goes
guy.
through him.
Yes.
Not
You're
yet.
talking about getting
yet.
double teamed throughout the whole game, getting triple teamed throughout the whole game, having the attention on you throughout the whole game, every single night, every night, back to backs, the week after, next month. That's something, that's a totally different beast. So, Trey Murphy is definitely on his way. I really feel like he's gone to a whole nother level, but there's levels to all of this. And right now he's just not dealing with those double and triple teams consistently all 4 quarters. So, I just wanted to point that out. I see where you're getting at.
I mean, but that's still fine though, because it's
Yeah.
still a lot of time left for him to figure that
Oh
out.
yeah,
Once he's freed up
it
with this
is,
next
and he
contract,
is
and
one
he's
of the
headed,
core because he's the future.
he's headed they're headed in the right direction definitely on what's going on with him. That's for certain.
I mean,
And
the
he's
thing is,
perfect for Zion too.
I think the biggest thing is this team, the organization needs to kind of they need to polish their vision and direction as far as what they're trying to do. And yes, it is laughable. It is very laughable, but that plays a part into it. You have to have a vision in a direction. Right now, we still don't know what's going on as far as, with all the trade rumors and everything like that. We still don't know what's going to happen when, obviously when Brandon comes back, and what's Trey's situation going to be then? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of questions in the air. And even with Zion, because talks have been, are still pretty heavy as far as, especially with mainstream media and even locally, as far as, if he's going to be the one being traded and Brandon stays.
No, I don't
Now,
believe any of that.
I know. I'm just saying,
they've
like,
been
this is
lying. They've been
out
lying.
there.
They've been lying like that. I stay busting these people ass every year around this
I'm
time.
just
I was
saying,
tearing them
this
up
is the stuff
last year.
that's out there because we don't know. We don't know. Like, we don't.
He ain't going nowhere.
We don't know what the Pelicans are going to do, though.
I promise you, they're not going to trade no Zion Williamson. You need a draw, and they don't have a draw.
All right, we'll see. Because I mean, the thing is, I don't know what they're going to do. Because they lying to the supporters. They've been doing that. We know that.
I mean, you just got to know how to read a con man. You got to understand. It's only so many things you can. It's on. Like I said, man, it's business. They'll talk to you. They don't. The truth is, they don't respect fans. They don't respect zealots. They think they can tell you anything. They don't think you know anything. Whatever we tell you, you'll go for it. And they might have a small contingent that might buck them. But the majority of the people, is this right? What we're saying is the majority of people do think like that. That whatever they say, they believe them. Even stuff that's not verified, like the Zion stuff, man, you seen it went through as much as the stuff that we've been doing over the years. It's a rhythm and a pattern to it. I'm telling you, like when that Sham Charania dude was talking all that stuff about the
Yeah, and
Pelicans
he's
trying to
weird.
trade for
I miss
school, and I'm
Woj.
telling people they believe in all that, and I told them, man, don't believe that bullshit, man. That
I
dude
do.
is out there lying,
I
man.
miss Woj though, because Woj he didn't do that type stuff.
He ain't say
He
nothing.
just said there might be a chance, but we don't know yet. He would always say stuff like that, at the end or at the beginning. We're not sure, but this is what's being said. You know what I'm saying? He's not like, yeah, this is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody jumps on that, and then it's like, oh well. Yeah, they came back and said that, it might not happen. Like, dude, you started that rumor like badly. And he really did. Like
Yeah,
Sham's like, I was actually
yeah.
shocked when he did that, man. I'm
I'm
like,
not
dang,
shocked.
dude.
The guy from Wendy's did the same thing. He was up there talking. It was a way for him to get airspace and airtime.
Oh
It's,
yeah.
it's just that they ain't nothing but
Everybody
glory.
get
They ain't,
clicked.
they ain't nothing but glorified sports weather reporters. That's all it is. Like sport, like weather reports. You don't ever blame the meteorologist for being wrong about the bullshit that he say. It'd be
They
25
still
or
had their
15.
job.
Right, exactly. It's the same thing. It's the same premise. You don't get mad at the weatherman when he screw up. Or the NBA insider could say, well, I got a bad thing. But that's not Adrian Wojnarowski. When he was doing it, he didn't do that. When all that was going on, I said, y'all pay attention to Woj. He wasn't saying nothing. And he had
Yeah.
the real
Yeah.
inside game.
And he
So
always
it's
put
some
in
bunk,
there
man.
that disclaimer that he wasn't sure. We don't know for sure yet. You know what I'm saying? It's still in question, or there's still talks going on, which makes sense. Okay, they talking. People
Right.
talk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like just be upfront with people, because I think he had more pride about his reputation.
Right.
Woj really had more pride.
Yeah,
About
he was
he didn't just say he wasn't just mouthing off just anything.
yeah. The Shams dude came up the same way, almost the same exact path as him. He was working at the same places. Woj came from Yahoo Sports right to ESPN. Sham Charania followed the same path right behind him. I think Woj probably spoke up to him, gave him some of his sources too when he jumped out of the game and went to doing, I think he coaching basketball now, something like that.
Oh yeah, he's like the athletic director for Bonaventure.
So see,
College.
yeah,
Yeah.
he done turned all his sources over to that guy and his job over to him. So I mean, like I said, man, it's just the game and understanding how things work in basketball. Like, and you got to have a draw. It was Zion Williamson like this, and I know a lot of the injury stuff that had happened over the years. But what if, for a second, people think for a second that all the shit that we done seen on Zion, maybe that's on the backside of it now. Maybe now that the guy can, has figured some stuff out, doing all this kind of stuff, and now he's ready to do something, because he definitely playing a lot different after that long ass break. Wasn't no rust on him. He came out there playing defense,
Yeah.
throwing the ball,
Hey.
hunking on people,
I
throwing
think
alley
Stacey
oops.
had a point. I think Stacey had a point, man. Because I mean, just looking, I was like, was Zion ever hurt? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Like,
he
was there
wasn't
some
hurt.
underlying meaning? But you know what though? That's why I use that word. I guess I should be more specific. David Griffin holding Zion hostage, as far as depriving supporters of seeing him play, because I'm getting tired of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
Lexxah,
feel like I've been waiting years to see
I know.
Zion play. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
And I'm talking about when he's healthy.
the two-sided coin is Zion Williamson has not been professional. Zion Williamson hadn't been taking care of
Yeah.
himself like he's supposed to be taking care of himself. If he was 100% thorough with his basketball and his body, we wouldn't have seen all these missed games. Even up until recent, with him missing out on practices and all this kind of other stuff like this going on. They're not forcing him to do that. A lot of this stuff is in his hands. And if he was really on his game a lot harder, things would be different. So he opens himself up to this criticism from all these press people. Because if you was handling your business, you was in that damn gym, you was studying that playbook, you was doing everything you can to level up your discipline and handle business, man, people wouldn't be able to say all this shit
You still
about you,
there?
man. Can you hear me? Y'all can hear me? All right. Can y'all hear me? I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna finish.
What playbook? What
Whatever he got to learn. Right. Well, there you go.
You know
No,
that
no.
there's no playbooks here.
I'm saying
because
whatever
Willie is not.
I'm saying Lex, whatever, because whatever he's trying to teach, because he might be a poor teacher of philosophy that he borrowed, because whatever he's talking about, it works. He's just bad at interpreting it to his players. Whatever, you can take a coach, wherever his philosophy come from, Steve Kerr and these other guys. They don't have no problems disseminating their messages to these players. Why is he having such an issue with it? Because there are levels at head coaching, and and there's levels at teachers, and that's what a coach is. A coach is a teacher, and they got shitty teachers and they got really good teachers. And if you have the ability to talk to a guy, a guy that's or a person that got a high IQ level, or one that's got a low, or somewhere in between, you're gonna have success in anything that you do. You got to know how to disseminate the same message to different people, because everybody gets it differently. Whatever philosophy he has works because we know where he borrowing it from and we see the results. But what he's doing, whatever his interpretation is to his players, they're not getting it. So perhaps other guys that are better teachers that below him, the assistant coaches, are giving these other guys the game that Willie could not give them. So that's a part of it too. So whatever it is, Zion Williamson has to take it and he has to execute his best to his ability to have. But like I said, a lot of times Zion missed half the games that he's been here. I mean, less than half the games since he's been in New Orleans Pelicans. He has opened himself up to all this criticism, Lex. All this is, to a large degree, is his fault.
But hey, the Pelicans, they
That's the
haven't
truth.
been all the way 100, man.
No, they ain't. No, you're right.
I'm all about accountability all around, but I feel like, it's easy to focus on the player, but I'm looking at what is the organization doing? We know that the physical therapist, how long has she been here? You know what I'm saying?
2
Like
years.
it took them a long time to revamp their training and performance. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, again, the way that Zion came in, that pressure was taken away. It wasn't stayed on him. And we know how Griff is. Griff still has PTSD over LeBron. And everybody knows about how the talk was with Zion. And I really feel like, because I'm not with Griff. I really am not. The dude is power struck. I don't feel like he wants to see Zion be great, because I feel like he's trying to have control over him. I really do, because he doesn't want another situation where with LeBron. He doesn't. And
I mean,
look,
he
look at the
can't stop that.
situation.
He can't stop that though, Lex. He can't
I
stop.
mean,
If Zion,
if you're doing it to someone who's a baby coming into the league, and that's what makes this situation, the way that you come in, it really matters, because he didn't come in the right way. He didn't
True.
come in the right way.
He
He didn't
didn't.
come in with that pressure on him. They rescinded the pressure. He came in with a lot of pressure. A lot. You should have put more on him. And I feel like if you would have did that, put that responsibility, that initial discipline. But again, this organization is not as disciplined as we think they are. They're not as organized as they are, that we
No, I
think they
agree.
are.
No, I agree with all that. I agree with
And
everything you're saying on that.
And
Go ahead,
I
finish your
always
point.
say attitude reflects leadership. Where's the leadership got to come from? If you are someone who's just now coming into the league, you don't know everything. So the thing is, if you're trying to truly invest in a generational talent, you gotta do that. You gotta go above and beyond. Tasha, I know we talked about it a little bit, but aside from her being a Spurs fan, she talked about that, how with the Spurs, it's not just about the money.
I
You
mean,
have to do other things to help support your generational talent to be successful. But I'm looking at Griff, and we know Griff is power struck, man. Man, I'm telling you, LeBron turned that dude out. LeBron told him he's living off of what LeBron, did. That's all he's doing. But he
I
wants
agree.
to maintain control. And I just feel like that these back-to-backs, the
I
suspension,
mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I got a problem with that stuff. It's like, so just like how we talked about, okay, so now all of a sudden you want to bring up he's been late for practices. Was he
Well,
late to practice
they
6
had
years
to.
ago?
Well, he had to put that out there because for it to
Yeah.
be suspended for one game for doing something like, well, that don't make any sense because they weren't telling you that he was late until they
Yeah, we
suspended
didn't
him.
know. We just found that out, and I
Right.
believe
They held that in there.
that was his first suspension. All
Yeah,
I'm
it
saying
was.
is that the timing of stuff and the things that Griff does, we know he's not innocent.
No, no,
We
it
know
not
he's not,
no,
and so
not at
I'm
all.
like,
I mean,
"Dawg, I don't like how you do things. I don't like the mismanagement of Zion. I don't like how look, you took away pressure. You took away the responsibility when he first got into the league. So the
yeah.
thing is, how do you think someone is going to respond by you taking away responsibility, taking away that pressure? And we talk about
Well,
how Griff, he don't have pressure on him. Look what he's doing.
well, this is the thing with the Pelicans organization, and this is just going what it's going to be until she get from under the team or sell a team. You don't have an owner with any vision. Okay, they just want to make money. That's what this is.
Yeah, exactly.
David Griffin is probably the worst thing and the best thing that happened to the Pelicans
They
because
put butts
prior
in
to
their
him
seats.
being here,
Yes,
he didn't
you know.
have he didn't have shit going for him with Cleveland. Everybody knew who he was up there. That he won that ring with LeBron. We all know that. When he came down here, they don't have anybody checking him. There's no timeline. There's nobody doing any evaluation on him. He's just doing whatever he wants to do, just like the dumbass dude that runs the Saints, Mickey Loomis. He's the same dude. So I mean, is this woman that's running this team and these people that's running this team, that's what it's about. It's about money. The Pelicans don't care about winning no championships. They don't even they wouldn't
And man,
dare utter the
ain't
word
nobody even
championship.
talking
And
about that. I
but
haven't
that's
heard
another
nobody talk about that.
that's a conversation for another show that we need to have. But right now this will lead to a whole 3-hour stream that I'm not trying to do right now. But I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, that's the truth. The truth is I haven't heard these people talking about winning no championship. We talk about
No.
that.
Yeah,
They
we
haven't
do.
opened their goddamn mouth and say nothing about winning no championship. I'm not
Shoot,
gonna
can't even
sugarcoat it.
talk about the playoffs for real.
As
'Cause
far as
gotta win, get some
right,
wins.
as far as I mean, we got to keep winning games one game at a time. Now I see what they're doing right now, but they have to stay healthy and keep building on this. That's what it comes down to. As far as David Griffin and the trade situation with Brandon Ingram, whatever kind of trade pieces he's going to get to help the team move forward, whatever Brandon Ingram brings back in trade value has to contribute to the Pelicans' success going into the season. They might get picks and player because that's what they said, according to the information that was put out by some of the insiders, that the Pelicans want picks and players. Will they get both? We'll see. Because Brandon Ingram should be healthy enough to play. I don't know how much they're going to play him between now and the trade deadline. But we'll see how it all folds because the Pelicans haven't done anything. They've been a wishy-washy in and out of the playoff type team. They haven't really built on any since they've been here. They haven't not really been on any respectable basketball history that can
No.
rival anything. They haven't done anything of any worth because
I
their
think
whole
you said
their whole prerogative and priority is to make money. They're designed from top to bottom to
it's a
make money. They don't
piggyback.
care about winning no championships. They're talking about building a brand new stadium down here. And I'm going to fight that all the way to the back. I'm not going to let you build no new stadium. What you got down there, the Smoothie King Center, is good enough for your ass until you start putting up something better. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. I'm going to fight them every way to go. But they hide from you. They do secret contracts. They do all kinds of shit that real teams wouldn't even do because these are con people operating. Now, they don't like to hear that talk because you're busting their game up because it's all about them making money. You effing up their game by telling the truth because people don't want to hear this. They just want to hey, just tell me about the basketball. Just tell me about the basketball. They don't want they want because they won't live in the fantasy of it. They got people that escape reality by going to watch a basketball game because their lives is hard or some shit going on. They want a distraction. So instead of just understanding the reality of all that, they just dip off into something else and just get lost in it. But at the end of the day, the Pelicans are not a team that told you they're trying to win a championship. They're just a team trying to entertain you and make some money while they do it. Now, eventually, we'll see what they got going on down the line or what the plan is. But like I said, man, they just is we've seen people, terrific Hall of Fame talent come into this organization, whether they were Hornets or the Pelicans, and ended up going somewhere else to help other people win. I'm talking some of the best players that we've seen in the last 20-something odd years, like CP3 and Anthony Davis and other great players, Drew Holiday, that came through here and went somewhere else because the Pelicans could not sustain success. DeMarcus Cousins and all these people, they go elsewhere and make money and win championships because the Pelicans are a joke. Okay, that's what it is. The Pelicans are a joke. They got a joke ass owner. They got a joke ass administrator. They got a joke ass VP who hides and signs secret agreements. They got a joke ass coach that don't know how to coach. The assistant coaches are really coaching for them. You got all these players that starting to figure it out and they playing with confidence. That's the truth. So until they show me otherwise, that they actually have a plan, this is what I'm gonna be hitting them for, because this is what it is. This is true. They ain't gonna tell you that nowhere else. They're just gonna play games with you and throw a little and make sure they live in the fantasy with you. But man, listen, we're gonna be here. We're gonna live in some real shit. We ain't gonna play around with all this other stuff. I'm gonna tell it like it is, like I always been. But anyway, listen, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for popping in here. Listen, overwhelmingly, we got that point. But Pelicans win tonight. They're on a 2-game winning streak. At the end of the day, we'll see what they got. They got 2 matchups left against, 3 home games on this slate left, 2 against Utah. They're not back-to-back, so we should see Zion for the 2 Utah games and the game against Giannis in Milwaukee, which would really be a good one. So I'm going to get on out of that. Listen, y'all do me a service. I think Lex thing popped out. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to this realness. The flock, we up in this thing, man. Listen, I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Much love. Go Pels. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network. For all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always saying, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, bunch of trains. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.